Hi, my lovelies. Okay, so today we have a special guest, and it's the big change, as I call it, all capital. uh, so for the past few days, I've been feeling some kind of change in the collective, in the energies, um, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't pinpoint it. Couldn't see what's happening. It wasn't that close, so to speak, for me to see it properly. It was kind of foggy. So I was just waiting a bit, and yesterday, while I was pulling on myself and on my connection, I kind of figured it out. So for me, the change, it felt like, when you feel a storm coming, like you're outside and all of a sudden it goes very dark and you see those massive clouds, everything is gray, you can smell the rain in the air, but there's no rain yet. You can feel the wind picking up, right? So it felt like that, but I still couldn't, see when the storm is gonna hit or how intense it's gonna be. I could just smell it in the air, if you will. And I even had some synchronicities that I later connected when I got the answer. So that was kind of pretty cool. I was like a little Sherlock Holmes, with the puzzles and all that. And it's visible here as well in this reading. So it's a huge transformation, and it's coming pretty quickly and pretty soon. That transformative energy is already here. It's already happening in the energies, in the collective, even in the 3D. It's already happening. It's big. It was all, this whole cycle was leading to this point. I also see a portal with this card. Like, this reminds me of a portal. I saw that in my reading that I did for myself yesterday. There was lots of circles in the cards, and every circle reminded me of a portal, like this lamb with a lit third eye. Okay, so how I figured it out yesterday is, it's like we've all been sucked into a portal, into kind of like a new timeline or whatever, another dimension, I don't know, but it's like we've been sucked inside that portal and just dropped down somewhere. It felt like that. Now imagine Earth, like, billions of years ago, when it was still forming, and the moon, right? Everything was still forming. Now those two planets are like the divine feminine and divine masculine. When we first met, it was that intense energy, that intense pull, just like the earth and the moon. They were much closer before, so the moon was much bigger and brighter, you know, if you were to stand on earth at that time. But they were still forming, you know, there was still lots of reactions happening, lots of eruptive volcanoes, you know, there wasn't a crust, there wasn't oceans, there wasn't life, you know, poisonous gas and everything. It was very violent, you know. So just like the DF and the DM, we met, we got triggered, we got sad, we got angry. Those are all those eruptions, you know, that were forming on Earth and on the moon. So all those triggers, sadness, anger, even love, you know, everything is in there. And everything is coming up, everything is bubbling, everything is trying to form and make sense, you know, just like those two planets. So now, with all these energies in this cycle leading up to this point, we formed and they had, you know, a chance to form. I mean, they did form on some level, you know. It's not the same as the divine feminine, you know. Earth, it has life and green and water and everything, you know. The moon is still barren, but still both of those are, you know, formed on some level. So this big change is actually putting both in that same position, in those same circumstances, if you will, same situations. It's same but different, you know, just like I said in the previous reading. So imagine now that first meeting that you had when you had that soul recognition, you know, and everything went to shit. Now we are both being put in that same meeting spot, if you will. But the difference is we are both formed now, you know. So this whole cycle was leading to this point because the first time we met, we weren't compatible, you know. We both needed to heal and to change something in our lives. But now that we are changed and transformed, and, you know, now we are being put back on that same spot to have that same meeting, but from a different level, you know. Does that make sense? It made perfect sense to me yesterday. That's why the previous reading, it was the same. It was the same kind of energy. I just couldn't pinpoint it. Why? So it's that energy of sameness. Is not even a word, I don't know. But with a difference, with a twist, you know. So it's almost like the universe is bringing us back in time, but with all the knowledge and all the lessons we learned, you know, so we could repeat that initial meeting, but now as a complete individual, you know. Does that make sense? And it also goes with the Steve's blog, the last entry that he put, the what was the title, the restoration, I think it was that, for the next year. So for the next year the title was restoration, and it kind of makes sense with what I just said, you know, because that first initial meeting was very volatile. The restoration makes sense, you know, the universe restored your broken parts and their broken parts and put you at the same spot again, kind of back in time, but you know, but whole now. There was something else I wanted to say. And you could also sense some similarities, that going back in time, you know, like for example, for me, the synchronicities that bring me back to that time is I'm feeling that first spark, that first influx of love that I had when we met. Again, it all made sense, you know, yesterday when I figured it out. To that point, I was like, you know, why am I feeling all this love again? Like, what's happening, you know? Am I going back to the same fool, you know? I was kind of confused, but no. So yeah, I've been having those memories and visions that I had in the beginning that I completely forgot about, and it would just happen like randomly, you know, during the day. So it's either memories, visions, feelings. Like I'm actually feeling that initial love and that initial excitement that I felt when I first met my DM, when we had that soul recognition. There's also I'm also feeling that attraction again, that pull, also lots of sexual energy, you know, from my person, so that could be picking up as well for you. But yeah, if you all of a sudden start thinking, you know, about that initial, you know, meeting when you first met, and if you remember something from that day, you know, from that month or whatever, and it brings a smile on your face, you know, and takes you back to that energy, it's that big change that's happening. there's also a feeling of because there's some kind of separation happening as well. It's almost like both the DM and the DF on some level went astray in the connection. So a separation is happening, whether it's energetically or physically, or maybe you had a breakup or whatever. It's also happening for this reason, because we are going, back in time, so to speak. And there was, at some point, both of us went astray a little bit. Because communication was never clear, or it never, I want to say never happened, but it was never fully open, it was never clear, so the DM made an image of you in their mind, instead of talking to you and really getting to know you, the real you. They made up an image of you in their head, because they were never able to open up, and therefore they were never able to fully get to know you or understand you, so for that reason they created their own image of you that isn't realistic. So that's where they went astray. And on your side, because of all the disappointment from them, all the anger that you experienced, all the disappointment, so you were kind of trying to disconnect. You tried, or you are trying to disconnect, but that's not the point. That's where you went astray, because you were too focused on the 3D person and what they are doing, and then you put that mold, that you created into everything that the future might bring, like for example, if they were always not being straight with you and all that, so in your mind you were like, yeah, but if they come with communication, it's gonna be the same old story. They're not gonna open enough, they're too slow, they're this, they're that, you were putting your own expectations, based on past experiences, so you kind of lost faith in them, so that's where the two individuals went a little bit astray. They created their own image of you, and you kind of lost faith in them at some point. but the universe wants you, it's like the universe is pushing a restart button, a big restart button. It almost wants you both to forget about the past. It's almost like it's saying you are not the same person, they are not the same person. Don't hold on to the past and then make your assumptions about what they are gonna do, what they are gonna feel, what they are gonna say. You know, it's almost like the universe wants you to have an amnesia, and then meet again and just start over, you know, uh, without any prior, knowledge that you put on them. It's almost like that. Of course, the universe doesn't want you to forget, the lessons and all that, but it wants you to keep the lessons that you learned, but it wants you to go. Oh my god, this is so hard to explain. I hope I'm making somewhat some sense. It wants you to keep the lessons and all that, but at the same time it kind of wants you to forget the past, to just let it go and start over. Like, in my mind, how I see it in my mind is yourself and their self went back in time through the portal, met at the same spot, but you came back with all the knowledge that you learned, It's almost like incarnating with all the knowledge from your previous life, like you didn't lose anything, any memory. You remember everything, to a T, to perfect detail, but you don't hold on to it. Like, I see two persons, just looking at each other, smiling, and just being hi, it's kind of cute. Just meeting again and being hi, how was your day today, and just start your conversation from there, the universe wants you to have a clean slate. You know how couples sometimes in movies, when they get kind of bored inside the relationship or marriage, and they do the role plays, and they pretend that they're somebody else, and then they meet at the bar and they pretend like they don't know each other, and they start talking and just making shit up and making the other one laugh, and it sparks that fire again. It's that kind of feeling, that's what the universe wants, in a sense, and it goes with my previous reading. It's just an extended, if you will, like your person is really going back back in time, if you will, because they're starting from the Fool on the same level, but you are also going back to the Fool, but on a new level, so while this separation is happening, you have the opportunity to figure out how to let go of the past and to see your person just as a person, you know. Like a role play. Just seeing them as a new person. God, I hope I'm making sense, because in my mind, like in that reading that I did yesterday for myself, it all made perfect sense, and it was just mind-blowing. So I hope I'll be able to convey it in this reading. So your first meeting needed to happen because you both needed to change something, you know. But now that you changed enough, now the universe is bringing back that initial meeting. So it could go from so it could go so it could go differently than initially. It wasn't the perfect time for you to be together at that initial recognition because you both needed to change. But now that you're changed, the universe is bringing back those kind of energies, because now you're both different and formed, you know, on various levels, but still formed, you know. So now it wants to repeat, so to speak, the first meeting. Does that make sense? Please comment if it makes sense. And while you're figuring out how to let go of the past and see your person as just that, as just a person, a normal human being, and have faith, you know, to restore the faith in your person, no matter how slow they are going, no matter how slow they are changing, you know. Just wants you to see them from a different perspective, if you will. So while you're figuring that out, how to let go of the past, through the symbiosis, they're gonna figure shit out as well, you know. They might get a different perspective on you because of that symbiosis, you know, that's happening between you two. Okay. Again, like I said, big transformation happening. It's already here. It's happening fast. It was always meant to happen this way. I know this isn't the card of destiny, if you will. It's not like the wheel, but it kind of reminds me, not the wheel, the world, because the world in this deck is also a big circle, you know. It was always destined this way. And you were always the one who would figure out shit first. Like you're that that horse, you know, that goes first. This also reminds me, you know, the circle being the cycle. This is also a card of Cancer, and we already know that the Cancer is the hotspot, you know. And the Empress is the one that was that is more awakened, you know. So it's kind of the story of your cycle, you know. It's a huge cycle, it's a big deal. The Cancer is the hotspot, and the Divine Feminine is the awakened one. And a huge transformation was always destined, you know. It's almost like the story of this whole cycle, like a summary, you know. Again, with this card, again, transformation because of the butterfly. This is like the past, you know, the thorns. You went through your, you know, thorny path, very, you know, shitty path, if you will. But you're coming out as a butterfly. Even though it's a tough cycle, it's very transformative, and it has a very healing effect if you're doing it right. This is just saying you have all the tools to how to say it. You have all the tools to transform the connection. This is like a pivoting moment, you know. You're given all the tools, you learned all the lessons up to this point, you know, enough lessons, you know, to be sent back in time and almost like to fix that initial meeting, although there's nothing actually to fix. You were always meant to have that volatile journey, you know. But it's telling me you have all the tools, you know, to make that change, you know, to release the past, and your person also has the tools, you know, to get to know you and to ditch that false image that they created in their mind, you know. I wish I could just try and, you know, send you my through telepathy, you know, what I sense, because it's very hard to explain with words the energies that are at play. Even in this card, I'm just focused on the pentacle that's on the horse. That's this pentacle. Something huge. I really do feel like a huge change happening. Even on my previous reading, when I was done with that reading, like for the whole day, I felt the collective, specifically the DMs in the collective. They were so pissy and so angry for some reason. Probably because they heard the news that they have to repeat the grade, you know. But still, they were so pissy, you know, and feeling the whole collective, you know, like millions of people. It's such a weird feeling. But yeah, and it's rare that I feel the whole collective, you know, after the reading, and it was there for the whole day. I felt them for the whole day after that reading. It was so unusual. Even made me pissy, you know, and angry. And I couldn't figure it out, like, why? First I thought it was my person, then I was like, no, it's not. Like, she doesn't feel pissy. And then when I said, oh my god, is it the collective? And the energies just went away, you know. That's how it happens to me. When I figure something out, when I acknowledge the energy, it disappears like in seconds. But it stays until I figure it out, you know, so sometimes it's very annoying. Anyway, so you might be feeling those synchronicities that bring you back in time. And like I said in the previous reading, you could be seeing numbers or their name, or, you know, songs that you listen together, or whatever, you know, whatever reminds you of them. And the previous reading still, of course, holds for this transformation to happen within you. Again, you need to quiet the mind and go into your soul space and into your heart. You know, it's all about love. Love is the answer, you know. Whenever you stumble upon something, a wall or whatever, love is always the answer. You know, when I did this spread, I was like, man, these geese are flying somewhere. Like, where are they flying to? And I don't usually look at the fifth card, and this is the fifth card, you know. It's almost like saying they're going back home. I mean, it even says on this card, it's not the Queen of Cups, it's the Mother of Cups. And that's exactly how it feels. Like, these are her children and coming back to her, and she is welcoming them with open arms. So the connection itself is going back home. And home is that feeling, that initial feeling that you had when you met your person. They felt like home. that love between you two, it felt like home. And that's what the universe wants to remind you of that love and that feeling of home. When you had faith in your person, it wants to bring you back there, because there lays the answer how to let go of the past. And I've been working on that since yesterday. I'm not saying I'm done, I'm still working on it, but I can feel the shift inside me since I realized, what the universe is doing. And trust me, when you get to that that initial feeling of home, trust me, you're gonna get your answers how to release the past. Just trying to see if I said everything. Yeah, when I figured that out yesterday in my own reading, I even had weird dreams. They felt different than my usual dreams. I felt like I was getting some downloads and answers, but I can't repeat them not because I don't want to, but because I don't remember. It was just a feeling, it wasn't words. It's not like I was getting instructions, but energetically it felt like downloads and all that. It's like the universe giving me a guidebook, what to do next. So just open yourself back again, and you will receive answers from your own soul, from the universe. You got this. You get all the tools that you need, That reading that I did for myself, when I figured out what I was doing wrong. Some would say, I got a slap on my face, but I didn't feel it as a slap. I even said thank you, thank you for showing me this. I even said thank you to my person, because if I didn't see her going back to her usual self, and if I didn't feel it, I wouldn't get that answer, what I'm doing wrong. So for me, it was exactly that, what I said. I lost faith in my person. I even reached a point where I didn't want to talk. It was like, it's pointless. Like, what a conversation is gonna give me. She's going backwards. Still in a toxic marriage and all that. What's the point of the conversation? So I was kind of in that mindset, and the universe was like, that isn't the point. The point is to have faith in your person, that they are gonna get better, that they are gonna changed their life, that that the conversation is gonna happen, you know. It was all about faith. So I hope it made sense for you as well. Okay. Now after 45 minutes, let's clarify a little bit. So you're not bored of my rambling. Okay, tell me about the magician. I could also say what's happening in the energies is pure magic. I mean, how the universe does it, how I felt that answer that I was given. I mean, it's just brilliant how the universe does it. I was just mind blown, you know. And when I connected the pieces, I was like, oh my god, like it was right in my face and I didn't see it. Oh. Like I even had a laugh because last week I did my annual eye test because I'm doing I need glasses for reading. So every year I had to repeat the test, you know. And the doctor who was checking my eyes had the same name as my DM, which never happens, you know. I never meet anybody with her name, even though she has the most usual name ever, you know. But the fact that it was an eye doctor and she had my DM's name, I was like, oh my god, you know, it's like telling me, open your eyes, you know. It's like my DM is telling me, open your eyes, you know. So I had a laugh yesterday and I was like, oh my god, it was right in my face and I didn't see it, you know. The Lovers. So you might have, you know, that kind of synchronicities or whatever. Knight of Cups. Six of Cups. All about cups. This kinda this kinda reminds me of my read. I had the Lovers as well and the Six of Cups. Yeah, that initial spark is coming back. The horniness in the energies are picking up again. And this is a card of the past. So, like I said, the past, you're going back in time. Both of you. It's just what I already said. But these two people feel different now. They feel different, and I don't know if you can see it, it's like their third eyes are connected through this symbol. And it is two big triangles, you know, connected with each other. And there is a triangle here, you know, like I said, with the portal. So what I said here about the portal, you know, both of you were sucked through that portal, and that portal is giving you giving both of you that those memories and visions and feelings that were there before in the past. I mean, exactly what I said. It's amazing. So yeah, back in time, but the two people feel different. I feel them both being more mature. It's like they both had a tough past, like I said here with the thorns. It's like they both had a tough past, but they're both a better person now. It's like those people in the movies where they have a tough past and they don't talk about it, but they are the most loving person now. They don't want to talk about the past because people might think differently of them. It's almost like the devil becoming an angel. That's kind of the vibe. And again, it's all about love, bringing love back home. And there's that horse again. I bet the cancers are feeling these energies like mad. It could be it could be feeling confused or crazy. I feel like the shitstorm is hitting the hot spot, the cancers first, and then it just spreads, like a like a virus, through all the other signs. Yeah. This is the card that I had yesterday. Again, see the circle, the portal. She was just minding her own business that day, and all of a sudden a portal opens and sucks her in. And there's the angel that I mentioned. Oh my god. Yeah, but both of you need to go into that Empress energy, the feminine energy, the nurturing energy, the loving energy, and it's visible here with angel as well. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, Three of Wands again, Temperance, Star, and Queen of Swords. They were getting a little bit what's the word? Just immaturity. Like, that's all I feel from this card. it's like you were telling them, look, we have a problem, we need to fix the problem, blah blah blah, being the adult in the connection, in the relationship, and with this card representing them, it's like they were, yeah, it's too much to listen to you now. Oh my god, you're just yammering, and I just want to have fun. It's like trying to explain something serious to a teenager, and all they want is booze, to fuck somebody, They don't care about bills and all that shit, It's that kind of energy. They went, like I said, they went backwards, and that made you to go a little bit colder because of that, And some of you might have shut down your heart, kind of using too much logic in this, too much mental exercises, instead of cups. This is a cup behind the bars, and she's on top of it and keeping guard of it. Nobody should see it. So it's almost like for you to not get hurt by their behavior, by them going, backwards. You were expecting progress and they're going backwards, So it's almost like in order to not get hurt or disappointed again, you kind of made some logical conclusions, how to separate from them, in a sense, but you used logic instead of heart, so you both kind of went, like I said in the beginning, you both kind of went your separate ways, distancing a bit. Another reason why this big change is happening, you both went astray a little bit. You can say it's a course correction as well, And from the previous readings, we know that there was a buildup of some kind of toxicity. You can see it here with the angel. It's trying to correct, that devil. And like I said here, these two are different people. It's like the devil becoming an angel. This star could be that separation period that I mentioned, delayed delayed action, if you will. But it's needed for both of you, to course correct. It's needed. Okay. The temperance is also about, balancing, so makes sense. Tell me about the Four of Swords. Just like those planets that I mentioned at the beginning, the Earth and the Moon. The Earth and the Moon is in perfect harmony now, they are both formed, and if there wasn't a moon, the seasons wouldn't be the same, the life wouldn't be the same. They now work in harmony, so to speak. So that's what the universe is trying to do here, for both of you, to form you the best of your ability, its ability, so you can work in harmony, the both of you, the N and the DF together, whatever happens, in the connection, whether you end up with them or not, it just wants harmony. Knight of Swords, Five of Cups, Ten of Cups, Five of Wands. Yeah, there's that inner conflict where you both went astray because of this feeling of loss. You might have been too much for them, they created that false image of you. They were kind of making their own self-fulfilling prophecy, trying to push you away so they don't end up hurt, and then you then you moved away, you left, you went your own way, did some magic on yourself on your own, and they were like, see, they left, blah blah blah, what did I tell you? And then your conflict is, oh my god, they're not doing anything, they don't care, they didn't stop me when I left. Both of you had that inner conflict because of the loss. And it kind of seems like everything was left up in the air, so to speak. It's all the unspoken words, miscommunication, not open enough communication, immaturity and all that. And when we are not being clear, that's when the conflict happens, inner conflict, I mean, both of you needed the course correction, you know. I would say they need it more than you, but still, it's both of you, you know. And again, illusions, fairy tales, you know. Somebody thinking of you like this, but never saying it, you know. It's that false image, you know. And it all brings to the inner conflict, you know. They make a false image of you, and then you make um, a false image, you know, about them. Um, so everybody's in the false, you know, all of a sudden. Okay, let's see the 5 from the bottom. King of Swords, 7 of Wands, Hermit, Emperor, 8 of Cups. So somebody leaving and somebody running after them. That's so funny. Yeah, it's all a big. Oh my god. I just feel a big misunderstanding, you know, on both sides. Like this is how I see it in my head. The third card, the one in the middle, the Hermit, is like what both of you were supposed to do in a sense. No, this is you, this is them. They were always controlling. They didn't wanna let go of control. When it didn't go their way, they became, you know, um, a brat because it didn't go their way. And they were like, you know, oh, you already left, blah blah blah, you know. And this is you because they were behaving like that. So you were like, okay, I'm fine. I'm gonna stay in my in my lane. I'm just gonna be in my bubble. I'm not letting you in because you're too controlling. You don't want to change. You ran away. You know, that's you saying you ran away, and that's them saying, well, you left. Oh my god, this soap opera. It's like I'm having two hotspots in this reading. You know, this sounds like a Leo reading. You know, we have the Chariot here with the Cancer. Oh my god. So both of you need to chill. You know, both of you need to be on your own. Again, get in that soul space, love space. Let go of the past, of the grudges, of, you know, everything that's negative and toxic. You need to let it go in order to live in harmony, you know. Or, you know, if you're not meant to be together, you know, just to have harmony in the connection, you know, to not go your separate ways, in misunderstandings and grudges and all that. There needs to be, um, sorry, there needs to be harmony restored, Everybody's blaming the other on some level. And it's funny, both of you have this circle again that I mentioned with the portals. Oh my god. But it's like you were trying not to feel them, but the bubble is saying that they were always around you, their energy was always around you. Because they are sitting on this bubble and you're surrounded by the bubble, And then saying, well, you left, so, I'm just gonna run again. But him sitting on that circle, it's just saying they never let you go, they never left you. They were always holding on to you. Just like he's holding on to this chair bubble. So even if you thought you left or blocked them energetically or whatever, you actually didn't. Their energy was always there. So funny, like this the symbols in the cards, like, oh my god. Sometimes I feel like I could talk for hours, just explaining the cards. Like the more I talk, the more I see and feel. So everybody is kind of blame shifting, but it's all a huge misunderstanding. That's all I'm feeling in the energy, like misunderstandings. And because of that misunderstandings, everybody's holding some kind of grudges and seeing the whole thing wrong. That's what the universe trying to correct. Okay, tell me about the Six of Wands. Eight of Cups. Heal. Seven of Cups. Page of Swords. Again, it's that thing of being tested. It's like you're here studying, both of you, right? Studying, and this is like, how is the wheel gonna turn? Is it gonna go bad? Is it gonna be a tower? Or is it gonna be good? And go towards the, I don't know, angel or whatever, So, up to both of you. This is that test that I mentioned in the previous reading. Both of you have options, both of you have free will, both of you know what to do. But the question is, will you? Just like here, only one cup is the right cup, and here is only one cup as well. Choose the right cup, you go towards the sun. Okay. Magician. 8 of Cups, Queen of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, and the Magician. This Magician brings me back to this Magician. Again, you need to let go of things that are not serving you. I feel like this cup is all the lessons that you went through, those thorns that you went through in this cycle. But it's almost like she did a little ritual, where she said her thanks and her gratitude for all that she went through, and she's gonna keep the lessons, but she's also gonna let go of the past, she's gonna remember the thorns, but she's gonna keep the rose, She's choosing to see the beauty in the rose itself, She's not focusing on the thorns, how she pricked her fingers and how she got cut, She's not focusing on that. She's focusing on the flower, on the beauty of this journey, And she's letting go of all that pain. So that's what's the universe doing. And again, we have the circle, the portal thing. Oh my god. Again, here it was temperance with the balancing. Now we have the 6 of Pentacles with the balance, There was just too much build-up of fakeness and pretending, I mean, that's your person mostly. 99.9%, but you also had your own things, like I mentioned with that Queen of Swords, she was trying to think logically, so not to get hurt, and it left everybody in pain. They left themselves in the pain, they left you in the pain, You probably hurt yourself with some actions or way of thinking and all that, holding on to something. I mean, there's too much buildup of pain and of fakeness and pretending, Again, that's why the separation, that's that devil energy, and it just wants to balance things. Before before you meet at that spot again, you know. Because I do feel there is gonna be some kind of situation or event that's gonna be similar to that first meeting. I do feel that's gonna happen at some point. Tell me about the lovers. Our beautiful geese going back home. Too much. Hermit. Soul searching. After all that soul searching, it's going back home. Yeah, going towards the sun. Eight of Cups. 10 of Swords. Chariot. And again, it brings us all the way to the beginning. Again, the Chariot, the Cancer, it reminds me of that. It reminds me of the hot spot, you know. There's some kind of sense of completion here. The geese flying back home. It's like they made their journey, you know, around the earth, and now they're flying back home. They made their journey. It's complete. Going back home towards the sun. End of pain. And taking control again. I feel harmony, like I said. It's kind of beautiful. It's kind of like poetry, you know, this final row. Again, just like this bottom row with the 5 cards, you know, when I mentioned like it's a summary of your connection. It's kind of similar with this row. It's like they went on a journey. Went on a journey. It was out of control. It was painful. Everybody was, you know, leaving and going. But now, when it's complete, another circle. Oh my god. I keep amazing myself. You know, it's kind of like, again, like a circle, you know. It was out of control. It felt like pain. It felt like everything is going to shits, you know. But then as the circle went back, it's the end of the pain, going towards the sun, and completion, harmony. When the emperor on the chariot has control of the horses, it's perfect harmony, you know. So that's what the universe is trying to do. It's trying to complete the whole journey. I mean, it's everything. There's a dog looking at my reading and he doesn't want to go. It's so funny. Like the lady is literally dragging the dog. Anyway, yeah, this whole thing with the circle and everything, it's just like I said in the beginning. It's like transporting you back in time, to have that initial meeting, but this time in complete harmony. And that's like the end of the beginning, or beginning of the end, you know, whatever, however you want to put it. Just like I said here, oh my god, it's so perfect. Like the beauty of it, how the universe does it, oh my god. I'm amazed every fucking time. Your journey started, it was volatile, it was out of control, you know, and you went through all those triggers and sadness and heartbreak and blah blah blah, you know. And now you're going back home. Going back home, so the harmony, when the harmony is restored, you know. That's why it's putting you back in time through that portal, so to speak. So we can have that initial meeting again, but this time in pure harmony. And that would be the completion of the cycle. And from there, you can move on, you know. That would be like a completion of volume 1, you know, the first book, and then you go from there, and then another book forms the second volume, you know. This whole journey was that first book, from the time you first met up to this point. Everything is just volume 1. Oh my god, the beauty in it. I hope you can sense it on some level, because it's just pure genius how the universe works it, how it works around the energies, with the energies, you know, how it perfectly changes one's life. And even these two, the book endings, like I said, before it was out of control, now it's going into, it's trying, you know, to go into harmony. Just like this, you know, when you're a kid, you don't have control over your emotions or your behavior, or, you know, whatever. I mean, a kid is a kid, you know, it does things, you know, out of control. You know, it doesn't want to sleep, then it cries, but it doesn't know why it cries, why he or she cries. You know, when an adult feels sleepy, he just goes to bed and takes a nap, you know. The kid doesn't have that kind of control, you know, it just wants to play and play and play. So it, you know, it's the same thing I said here. In the past, it was out of control, now it's in perfect harmony, you know, he has that wisdom, he's older, he's smarter, you know. just perfect. Learning how to overcome this inner conflict, whatever it is for you and for them. Choosing the right cup, not leaving them in the air, and it's just perfect. Wow. I'm amazed. Now I'm gonna swim in these energies for a few minutes. Okay, I hope it was understandable. I hope it helped. I hope you have some kind of clarity now what's happening, and I have faith that you're gonna figure it out on your side, how to let go of the past and the grudges and mistakes and all that. Because it's all up to the individual. So there you go. Like, share, subscribe, help the YouTube algorithm, to put me out there. I need your help. There's a PayPal link in the description box if you want to support the channel and my work. That's it. Love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.